U.S. election process. Here's a brief overview of the U.S. election process. Federal system. The U.S. has a federal system of government, meaning elections occur at both national and state levels. Nationally, voters elect the president, members of Congress, House and Senate, and, indirectly, other officials. State and local elections vary by jurisdiction. Presidential elections every 4 years. Presidential elections are held every 4 years on the first Tuesday after the first Monday in November. Primary elections/caucuses. These are held in individual states where voters choose party nominees, Democratic, Republican, or third parties through either a primary direct voting or a caucus, a local meeting format. National conventions. Political parties hold national conventions where delegates formally nominate their presidential and vice presidential candidates. General election. In the general election, voters cast ballots for their preferred presidential candidate. However, they are actually voting for a slate of electors who pledge to vote for that candidate in the Electoral College. Electoral College indirect voting system. The U.S. uses an indirect voting system for presidential elections known as the Electoral College. Each state has a certain number of electors equal to its representation in Congress, and the candidate who wins the popular vote in a state generally wins all of that state's electors. 270 electoral votes to win. There are a total of 538 electors, and a candidate needs a majority of 270 electoral votes to win the presidency. If no candidate gets 270, the election is decided by the House of Representatives.
Congressional elections. Senate elections. 100 U.S. senators, 2 per state. Senators serve 6-year terms, and elections are staggered so that roughly 1/3 of the Senate is up for election every 2 years. House elections. House of Representatives has 435 members, each serving 2-year terms. House seats are apportioned based on population, with elections held every 2 years. Midterm elections. These take place halfway through a president's term, often seen as a referendum on the sitting president's performance. All House seats and 1/3 of Senate seats are contested during midterms. Voting process. Voter registration. In the U.S., citizens must register to vote, typically through their state or local election office. Voting methods. Most states offer various voting options, including in-person voting on Election Day, early voting, and absentee voting by mail. Eligibility. U.S. citizens aged 18 and older are eligible to vote, though some states have restrictions for people with felony convictions or mental incapacitation. Political parties. The U.S. is largely a two-party system, dominated by the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. However, there are several third parties, e.g., Libertarian, Green, that may influence elections, particularly at local levels. Campaign financing. Candidates raise money for campaigns from individual donors, political action committees, PACs, and other sources. The Federal Election Commission (FEC) regulates campaign finance, including contribution limits and reporting.
Debates and media. Presidential debates. During general elections, candidates typically participate in televised debates. These provide voters an opportunity to see how candidates perform on important issues. Media influence. The media plays a significant role in informing and influencing voters. Social media, TV ads, and news coverage are crucial tools for candidates.